Hi guys, and welcome to another batch of your replays, and today we are going with Tier 8 Germans. I've got two Tier 8 games for you today. First one here is in a Jagdpanther II. It is on Northwest, it's a 55%er, so it's a pretty close game. And we are with goBerzerk, and goBerzerk is a player who featured on the channel quite some time ago, a long time ago, in a low tier RT game, and it was a great game. But I do have to say, goBerzerk, thank you for sending this in. It is really nice to see how much you've improved as a player. Your stats are improving, your win rate has improved, and it's really nice to see the progress you've been making in World of Tanks. And again, want to thank you for sending this one in, because this is a pretty good game. I really do enjoy the Jagdpanther II, although it has been a long time since I played it. I went up the Germans first when I first started playing World of Tanks, so when I was playing the Jagdpanther II, I probably didn't play it as well as I should have. I didn't really know that much about the game, and I still only had a couple of thousand games under my belt by the time I was playing the Jagdpanther II. But I probably played it, I remember playing it very passively and using it like a TD, because that's what I thought TDs had to do. But the Jagdpanther II is much more than a TD. It can perform the TD role, it can sit, it can snipe, but one of the things the Jagdpanther II is very underrated for is its armor. It may not have, on paper, armor that's as good as the Ferdinand, which is the other Tier 8 TD. And a lot of people think that, okay, well, the Ferdy's the armored one and the Jagdpanther II is the more mobile and flexible one, let's just say. But that's not quite true, because the Ferdy's armor is very flat, whereas the Jagdpanther II's armor is very sloped. And really, if you can get this tank hull down, you can use its armor to great effect. Both tanks share the same gun. It's a 128mm with 246mm of penetration, 490 alpha damage. So it's a very nice gun, very flexible TD, and the best Jagdpanther II players tend to play this tank, as you can see, like a medium tank. They use its speed, they use its mobility, they get up into positions you normally wouldn't expect to see a TD in. And that armor is already going to work. He's bounced a shot, and he's gone hull down on this corner. So he's advancing. Unfortunately, he was going forward into the rocks as he took that shot, and it threw his aim off. So he missed that shot, but this is something you can do in the Jagdpanther II that you wouldn't be doing in the Ferdy, because you'd still be moving into position. The Ferdy is a much slower tank. So he's taken 2 hits, he's bounced 2 hits. He is top tier. He's looking for shots. Gets a beautiful shot into the T-44. And he's continuing to work this corner. Now, unfortunately, there's an IS who's decided to move up. And look at this really poor play by the IS. He's pushing goBerzerk out of his position. He was in a really strong position, but the IS drives. He just drives straight out in front of the enemy tanks. He drives out in front of his friendlies. And you can see goBerzerk understands the roof of the IS-3 is very weak. Gets another lovely shot in. And he's sensing victory. They've won this corner. There's just an A-44 up here. goBerzerk advances. Beautiful shot on the move, setting the A-44 on fire. So we know that there's only a T-43 down to the right. I think goBerzerk may be risking a little bit here by poking the corner, but he wants the kill. Unfortunately, A-44 was a good player. He was moving erratically, and goBerzerk misses his shot. But he is already on 3k damage. I mean, the game feels as if it's only just started. goBerzerk is on 3k damage. He's continuing to advance. And this is something that the Jagdpanther, this is really where the Jagdpanther shines compared to the Ferdy. He's able to relocate, he's able to hunt tanks down, chase them down. He's looking for more damage, he's looking for some kills. He hasn't actually gotten a kill yet, even though he's done 3k damage. Another beautiful shot on the move. He ignores the A-44 to get the kill on the Cromwell, but the Cromwell gets rammed to death by the E-25. So he swings around, finally gets his first kill on the A44. Very low hit kill, but that takes him up to 3.5k damage. T69, 384 health. goBerzerk takes the snapshot, gets the kill. That's his second kill. That takes him up to just short of 4k damage. I really do like the Jagdpanther II. Now, as I say, first time around, I didn't know what I was doing in it, and even though I liked the tank, I sold it as soon as I was done with it because I wanted the credits for the Jagdtiger. But I did rectify that mistake and I did rebuy it recently. I just don't have a crew for it. But as soon as I have a crew, I will start playing this tank again because I just miss it. It's a great TD. Unfortunately, moving in for this kill on the Borsig, and he gets shot in the back by the T43. Nice shot on the move. And rams the Borsig to death. Unfortunately, it has cost him quite a bit of health. That T43 is just going to work on him from the ridge. He finally turns, gets to face the T43 again, and bounces a shot. But you really don't want to let tanks get behind you or to your sides. But it's a lot harder to do against the Jagdpanther II than the Ferdy because it is such a mobile tank. So the enemy team are down to 2 tanks. This is a whitewash. It's a 13-6 for a 55%er. This has been a really dominant game by goBerzerk's team. He is on almost 5k damage, 4.9k damage at the moment. SU-152 goes down. That just means there is only this almost full health Centurion 1 left. goBerzerk is advancing. Bounces on the Centurion's gun mantlet, unfortunately. But goBerzerk just wants more damage. It's obvious he wants more damage out of this game. The game is over. This is the last tank. What a big ram from the Tiger II. And unfortunately, goBerzerk misses his kill shot. Goes in for a little bit of ram damage. Reloading, trying to get the kill, and unfortunately, Centurion has more than enough penetration to go through his front. So goBerzerk dies, unfortunately. And again, very unlucky to bounce a kill shot. But really nice game, showing off the strengths of the Jagdpanther II. So that was an ace tanker for goBerzerk. He also picked up high caliber. He finished top on XP with 1319. Nice game. Almost 5k damage, 3 kills. He fired 14, hit 11, bend 10. The penetration on the gun is good. He did get a little bit unlucky. He did take a few snapshots, but otherwise the gun is very good. And the versatility that the speed and mobility of the Jagdpanther gives you means you can play it pretty much like a medium tank when you are top tier. You can play it like a heavy tank when you're top tier. Probably goBerzerk played it more like a heavy tank there, where he advanced right up to the front line, went hull down, and started causing the enemy problems. He received 12 hits. Now, most of the early hits he received were bounces. It was only when he gave his rear to the T43 that he started being penned. But he did block a decent amount of damage with his armor. He spotted 3, damaged 8, destroyed 3, did 225 assistance damage, and he wasn't playing with a premium account, but he still earned almost 16,500 credits. 1319 XP. It wasn't a ×2, wasn't the first game of the day, but a bonus was thrown in there, leaving him on 1648. But really, I want to say, goBerzerk, I really am impressed. Really nice game, and it's obvious from your stats you've come a long way from the time you first appeared on the channel. Thank you for sending that in. It is lovely to see how well you're progressing. Moving on, we've got a game that couldn't be more different. This time we're with Dreadshells in the Tiger II. Now, this is a tank I kept. This was my first tier 8 heavy, and this is the tank I learned how to play World of Tanks in. As I said in the first replay, I started with the German lines. I got up to tier 8 relatively quickly. It only took me a week or 2 of playing World of Tanks to get to tier 8. I was playing a lot of games, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. The Tiger II is always going to have a place in my heart because this is the tank I learned how to play World of Tanks in. When I got to tier 8, all of a sudden the grinds became huge. I ended up spending more time in the tank, and that's when I realized I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was having a lot of bad games, so that's where I sat down, checked out YouTube, checked out Twitch, and actually started to learn about things like angling, and things like going hull down, and things like reading the minimap. So the Tiger II is always going to have a place in my heart. And as I say, this game is very, very different from the first game. It's a tier 10 game, so he's not top tier. Dreadshells is bottom tier in a tier 10 game. It's on a big open map steps, and it's a 44%er. So while it's still quite close, it's definitely a much harder ask than maybe goBerzerk had in the first game. So we're kicking off. And Dreadshells is going to be facing E100s, T57 heavies, Batchats, FEs, 183s. But as you can see, Dreadshells is a pretty good player. And he's going to be pushing the 9-0 lines. Now he's staying with the pack. His team are lemming training. But he's bottom tier tank. There's no point in him going off alone or trying to defend a flank. He is going to be staying with his friendlies. He's going to be advancing with the lemming train. And quite often, I'm guilty of it too. When I see a lemming train, I tend to avoid it, and I end up going over to try and just defend the other flank and end up dying horribly. And usually when your team lemming trains, you've got two choices. If you're top tier, it's possible you may be able to defend a flank by yourself, or with just a couple of tanks for help. But when you're bottom tier, really, it's best to stick with the lemming train. It gives the enemy tanks more targets to hit. It gives you more opportunity to actually poke and do damage. But you can see that Dreadshells is advancing. He's gone right down into the dip. He's going to be advancing along the 0 line. And he's still going, so nothing has been spotted ahead of him. He's continuing to advance with his team. And his team are correct. The T-54 is saying, push, there are 10 of you. There are 10 of us. So 5 enemy tanks have been spotted versus 10 friendly tanks. So his team are being aggressive. They are pushing. And unfortunately, the STA-1 gets clipped by the T-57 Heavy, but the T-57 Heavy's on a reload. And Dreadshells is able to pre-aim, auto-aim, go around the corner, get one shot in. And that's his first shot of damage done on a T-57 Heavy, a tier 10 heavy tank. And he's not stopping. He has not stopped moving. He's continuing to advance with his team. With so few tanks defending the other flank, they really need to be aggressive. I think Dreadshells has finally spotted the T-34, and he's hanging back. So he's waiting for the T-34 to be distracted. Now he's making his move. T-34 is aiming at other tanks, and he's coming up the slope at an angle, goes for the more dangerous tank, the Batchat in the rear. And this is something you see a lot of good players do. You see, you earn more XP and more credits from shooting higher tier tanks. So not only is a higher tier tank a more dangerous tank, but you earn more XP and credits from shooting it. So he went for the Batchat. He's angled, he's bouncing shots. He just bounced a gold shell from the Carnarvon. And he's continuing to advance with his team. Now it turns out that most of the enemy team have decided to sit and spawn. Now that may be because they saw the lemming train coming up the 9-0 lines and they actually retreated. But you can see that Dreadshells has not stopped moving. He's continually moving. He got another shot in on the Carnarvon. He's on 1200 damage and he's just taken a big hit from the E100. So an E100, very good player, camping spawn. Dreadshells is up to 1500 damage, basically just supporting his teammates, moving up as part of the lemming train, but they're up against some very, very nasty tier 10 tanks here. So the E100 is bullying the T-54. Dreadshells is moving in. He's got the side of his turret. He's switched to premium rounds, and I don't blame him. Tiger II versus an E100. And the E100 has put another big shot in. So those 2 hits, he's only taken 2 hits this game, or 2 damaging hits. And unfortunately, he's been reduced to 134 hit points. That's the danger of playing aggressively in a tier 8 and a tier 10 game. He bounces on the FV-183. He's still hunting these tier 10 tanks. He's trying to stay safe from the FV. He's still looking for shots across the map. Spots the IS-6. And the Tiger II's gun. It may not have fantastic DPM, but it's accurate and it's punchy. So he's continuing to keep an eye on what's happening behind him. He's going to work on this IS-6. Gets 2 shots in. The FV-183 has just fired. Dreadshells knows he can move up, knows he can engage him, and unfortunately donks that shot. Hits the ground directly in front of the FV. And the FV does not want to waste a premium shot on Dreadshells, or at least it didn't look like it. So Dreadshells moves back into cover. His team are doing an amazing job. Panther II spotted in the distance. And oh, Dreadshells was very, very unlucky not to get the kill there. Bounces on the Panther II. But thankfully, he's got time to reload. Finish him off for kill number 1. So he's done 3,000 damage so far. That may be his first kill, but he's on 3k damage. And he's been shooting a lot of higher tier tanks. And unfortunately, the E100 angled his turret. Dreadshells misses that shot, but he's still moving in. He's shooting tier 10s. Goes for the track shot on the FV. That means that any damage done to the FV, he's going to share the XP and credits for. But very few tanks are able to finish off the FV. Dreadshells finishes him off for kill number 2. He's gotten behind the E100. Gonna try and stay away from that gun. Gets another shot in. This is dangerous. And wow, the E100, so unlucky. Manages to bounce an AP shell on the gun. Gets taken out. And there we go. Just one enemy tank left. Dreadshells is up to 4.2k damage. Just 2 kills. But he's saying in chat, the King Tiger or the Tiger II is OP. Really, really aggressive play. And very, very clever play. Sticking with the Lemming train. Focusing on higher tiered tanks. Flanking, getting side shots, getting rear shots. Really, really nice game. Showing just what a Tiger II can do. Even when it's bottom tier in a tier 10 game. So that was an ace tanker for Dreadshells. He also picked up Spartan for bouncing the E100 towards the end of the game, and a Confederate medal. He finished top on XP with 1440, but what was really, really impressive was the fact he also finished top on damage as a bottom tier tank in a tier 10 game, and in a tank that isn't known for his DPM, he did most damage on his team. He fired 19, hit 16, and penned 15. He did 4,211 damage. Now, considering a lot of his shots were fired on the move, a lot of his shots were fired in third person, that was a really, really good performance from the gun. It's a really, really good gun, but it may not have the best DPM. That didn't stop Dreadshells from having a really, really good game though. He damaged 9, destroyed 2, did 688 assistance damage, and unfortunately made a loss. Now the Tiger II is an expensive tank to run. Unfortunately the repair costs can be quite expensive. The regular AP ammo is quite expensive on this tank. I believe it's about 1,000 credits a shot. And also he was firing gold towards the end against an E100 and an FV-183. Now to be perfectly honest, if I was in the same situation as a bottom tier tank against those tanks, I would probably have fired gold as well. You can argue that maybe he didn't need to fire some of the premium ammo he did when he got to the side and rear of those tanks, but it's very, very easy to be critical when you're watching a video on YouTube. When you're actually in the game and it's in the heat of the moment, you just want to do damage, you want to kill these tanks, you're fighting for your life, you're surrounded by tier 10 tanks. It's very, very difficult to calm down and think, well, okay, does my gun have enough penetration to pen the side and rear? You just want to get those shots in as quickly as possible. You don't want to have to think about re-switching ammo types. And really, when it comes down to premium ammo, I don't have an issue when people fire premium ammo. I have a problem when they spam it, but when it's used in the right situations, and I believe in that one it was, I have absolutely no issues. Unfortunately, as I say, it was a loss, but I probably would have made a loss in a game like that as well. 1440 XP, again with a standard account on a ×2. First game of the day left him on 2,880 XP. So really, really nice, aggressive play as a bottom tier tank in a tier 10 game from Dreadshells. Really, really nice game. Congratulations, and I want to thank Dreadshells and goBerzerk for sending those 2 replays in. I hope you guys enjoyed watching them, and I'll see you next time.